Part 3 and the final video in this series on the Droelandskloof Pass covers the final 3 kilometers, which is by far the steepest section of the route, where the gradients reach 1 in 5. If you intend driving this route, it's very important to watch parts 1 and 2 first, which contain important safety, technical, historical and tourism information. Up ahead and to your left lies the massive bulk of the Baviaansberg, with a height of 1,946 meters, which is often covered in a mantle of snow during winter, whilst the imposing Grasberg hems the road in on the right. The natural neck ahead of you is the obvious point where the road is heading. Directly to the left there's a deep ravine known as Droelandskloof, which forms a tributary to the main river. The farm Droeland is just a little further on, where the road changes heading for the first time into the northwest. If you look sharp left, you'll see a road zigzagging up the mountainside. This is a private road which was used to harvest proteas from the upper reaches of the mountain. This road is no longer passable and has been severely damaged by floods. Going back in history, the land north and east of the mountain ranges of the Cape Interior was for a long time the land of the Khoi and the San. The Khoi herders moved their cattle and sheep in a semi-nomadic lifestyle and lived in small villages and kraals. The San hunter-gatherers had a profound knowledge of their environment, hunted the game and used plants for cooking and medicine. In the 18th century, the whole situation changed. The colonists at the Cape moved eastwards and northwards, and the colony expanded further and further inland. The farms at the frontier were rather isolated, and their main way of living was holding sheep and cattle breeding. The burghers held servants and used slave labor. Their herders moved the livestock up and down the mountains to find the best grazing land and pastures. In the beginning, the Khoi herders took advantage of the trekkers, but very soon the relations became more hostile. The Khoi and the free burghers used the same land and the same waterholes for their cattle. Through the burgher activities, the soil deteriorated and the game decreased. The Khoi and the San got more and more marginalized, and their traditional way of life was threatened. Still, small groups of San, like the Sonkwa, tried to keep on living an independent life in the mountains, but many of the Khoi San fought back in order to survive. In 1765, a farmer, Jan Mostert, built a pass called Mostertshoek Pass over the Witzenberg and Schurverberg mountains from the Brede River Valley to the Warmbokkenveld. The pass was so steep and hard that the wagons had to be dismantled. Jan Mostert had his farm Wolverkloof on the southern side of the mountains. Maybe once or twice a year, the burghers at Warmbokkenveld travelled through the pass to Stellenbosch to buy the utensils, clothes and foodstuffs they needed to baptize their children and go to church. By the 18th century, the mountains of the Bokkeveld and Roggeveld were also attractive as hiding places for runaways and outlaws. Runaway slaves, servants, deserted soldiers and seamen, and from the 1770s also the Khoi and San formed droster gangs with men, women and children. These people felt a common consciousness of oppression and tried to survive in the mountains, avoiding discovery by stealing cattle, tools, food and clothes from the farmers. In order to defend their farms, the burghers set up military commandos to track the drosters. Just before the 16th kilometer, the road suddenly swings away to the right and you'll arrive on the summit plateau at an altitude of 1,226 meters. It gets bitterly cold up here in winter, and ahead is the large farm known as Wagenmakershoogte. You now have a long but scenic drive ahead of you to either the R46 or the R303, so make sure you have all the GPS coordinates entered correctly in your GPS.